I told you what I need and what I'm looking in a phone, so I need to know. I want your input. Give me your input, guys. Please, I need help choosing a phone. So here you can see I'm on phonearena.com, and I put these phones in to compare. So the first one you see here, it's the Motorola Moto X Pure, the Blue Pure XL, and the ZTE Accent Pro. And these are the three phones I'm having a hard time with. I'm having a hard time picking one of them. I like all three of them, but I can't have all three. So over here, the Phone Arena rating on this phone, he's at 9.1. This one's a 7.8, and this one's an 8.5. But I am not going to go by these ratings because I don't know what they rate it on. I'm looking for the different things the phone has. So if I scroll down, let's see, over here it says that the first one, which is the Moto, has it's an Android 5.1. The Blue is a 5.1 also. And the Accent says that it's 6.0 and 5.1. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure if it's that the Accent already has this 6.0, or it has the 5.1 and it's, you can upgrade it to the 6.0 right out of the box. One thing I was looking for in a phone was the fingerprint sensor. And the only one here is the Blue, has the fingerprint sensor. The Moto doesn't have it, and the Accent doesn't have it. So that's one plus for the Blue for me, because that's what I'm looking for. The Motorola is splash and dust resistant. These two are not. So that's a plus for this one. On the display, on the Motorola, we got a 5.7-inch display. On the Blue is the 6.0, and on the Accent is the 5.5. Now, which one I like out of these three? Of course, I'm going to go with the 6.0 because my phone was a 6.0 and I really liked having the big screen. So here's another plus for this one on my book. Then the pixels are all the same on all phones, the same thing. This one has an IPS LCD. This one has the Super AMOLED, and this one has the TFT. If you ask me which one I want this one. The Super AMOLED is the best screen for me. So here's some features. Light sensor, that has a light sensor, that has a light sensor. Proximity sensor, they all have it. Now these are all scratch resistant Gorilla, Corning Gorilla 3, all of them. So on the camera, so here we go. This is very important to me, the camera. I like to have a good camera on my phone. Now if you look at it, the Motorola has 21 megapixels. The Blue has 24 megapixels. And the Accent has 13 megapixels. Now the thing with the Accent that I really liked was that it has a dual camera in the back. And it has also a front-facing camera. So this phone has 3 cameras. But if I looked and I started looking, I'm like, yeah, but this only has 13 megapixels. This dual camera only has 2 megapixels. And this one has 24 megapixels. So out of the 3 cameras, of course, I'm going to go with the 24 because it's the highest megapixel. So here's another win for me on the Blue. So they all have the dual LED, which I like. I don't like the single one. It's not bright enough. And then on this one, the aperture, for some reason on the Blue there's nothing there. So I'm not sure if it has it or not, but this one has a 2.0 and this one has a 1.8. Now the 1.8 is the better one, and I like that. So there's a plus for that one on that. There's more features listed on here. On the Motorola, there's face detection, digital zoom, self-timer, digital image stabilization, back illuminated sensor, autofocus, face detection, touch to focus, and geotagging. Those all seem good to me. Now, I want you to just take a look at the blue. The blue has a sapphire crystal lens cover. It has optical image stabilization, and there's my main thing right there, the optical image stabilization. This has a digital image stabilization. You want an optical image, and that's what I wanted. So this one has it. It has face detection. This one has a smile detection, actually. This one doesn't. It has a digital zoom, a self timer, it has autofocus, touch to focus, and it has geotagging. Now let's look at the accent. The accent has manual focus, face detection, digital zoom, self timer. Here's a big one for me on this one, the CMOS image sensor. I wish the blue had that, because I really would love that on a camera. And I really like that. So that's a big plus for me on this one. Then it has the back illuminated sensor, the autofocus, the touch to focus, and the geotagging. So if you ask me out of the three, which one I like, all of them have stuff that I like. So if I were to say which one of these three I like the CMOS image sensor the best. Then the optical image stabilization. So, I mean, seriously, this is getting hard for me to pick because of this. Because if the blue had a CMOS image sensor and the optical, then of course blue was going to be my choice. And it still might be, I don't know yet. The shooting modes, they're about the same. This one has the panorama, has the night mode. This one has night mode. This one, I don't see the night mode. But it has the effects, which is good. So I like that this one has the night mode. The camcorder, it's 3840 by 2160. It has 4K video, 30 frames per second. This one here is 3840, the same thing, and 4K. This one, 3840, 20, and 4K. Same thing, but these have other options the Axon doesn't. So I can't believe that you can only record in 4K. There has to be more options for this. This one's still the one that I would go for on this option anyways. Now here's some more features. High dynamic range mode, continuous autofocus, digital image stabilization, which we already read that, and video. I don't know why that's there again. This one says digital image stabilization, video calling, and video sharing. No, I didn't see that on this. Oh, wait. I have to go up more. Sorry, guys. This one does have video calling, but this one has video sharing. I don't see it on here. This one has time-lapse video, which that I would like, but it's not a huge deal for me. Continuous autofocus, which this one has it. I don't see it on this one. Video recording and video sharing. So for some reason this one's missing continuous autofocus. Now the front facing camera is 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 8 megapixel. Now I like the 8 megapixel rather than the 5. Now the Motorola has a 5 megapixel, but it comes with a flash in the front. These don't, but these are 8 megapixels. Now this one features flash for the 5 megapixel. This one just says autofocus. This doesn't say anything. So I figured they're leaving stuff empty. That means maybe something's supposed to go there, but I'm not sure. Let's go to the hardware here. This one has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 808. This one has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 810. This one has the MediaTek Helio X10. Now, people were saying about the Qualcomm Snapdragon being not too great. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But it seems like this one might be the better one. I'm not even sure though. Now, the processor on this one is an hexa-core. This is the Motorola, 1800 megahertz. This one has an octa-core, 2000 megahertz. And this one has the octa-core, 2000 megahertz. Now, this one has the ARM Cortex A53. This one has the ARM Cortex A53 and 57 with the 64-bit. This one has the ARM Cortex 57, 53. So these all have that. Except this one's missing the A57 on the ARM Cortex. Now the system memory, let's look at that. The Motorola has 64 gigs. But this one comes on a 16, 32, and 64. Of course, if you get the 64, it's going to be the higher price out of the three. So if I get the Motorola, I'm not going to get the 64. I'm going to get the 32. Now, this one's a 64, and this one is a 64. Basically, this one's 64, this one's 64, this is 32, and that'll be the same price on all three. If you get the 32 on this one, the 64, and then the 64. That's probably basically about the same price on all three. So, of course, I would go for the 64 for the same price, you know. So, let's keep going. One thing I don't like about the Axon is that it does not have a micro SD slot. So, you cannot expand the memory. Now, these both do. This one goes up to 64. This one goes up to double that, the 128. But I don't think I need more than 64 since I'm going to already have 64. Right now, capacity on the battery on the Motorola is 3,000. On the Blue is 3,500. And on the Axon is 3,000. So, of course, this one has the better battery. Now, where it says here, not user replacement, it's talking about the battery. You cannot take the battery out of any of these devices. Now, that is a bummer, but what are you going to do? The three that I like do not have that. So, that's basically it. I mean, it has multimedia music player, which is all about the same thing on all three of them. Now, the Axon does have a radio. These don't. I don't really care about a radio. I don't need it. The speakers, this one says earpiece, stereo speakers, earpiece, loudspeaker, earpiece, loudspeaker. So that's what you get there. Let's see if there's anything else I can show you. Alright, on the Motorola, which is a nice thing that I like, and this is why it's so hard to choose. Motorola has the best radio frequency out there. Now, if you look here, first of all, let me show you. You can use Motorola with every single service out there. CDMA, GSM, okay? Now, this means you can use it on Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, AT&T. So it could be SIM card or not, you can use this phone. It doesn't matter. But with the Blue and the Accent, you can only use GSM. So, there's no CDMAs. You can't use it for that. So that means you're stuck with just GSM, which is AT&T and T-Mobile services. Now, do I care? Do I want to have Verizon? Right at this moment, no. Who knows in the future? But right at this moment, I don't really care about Verizon. Now, we have bad service where we live anyways, and we use a microcell to get our service, you know, full bars with the microcell. So Verizon's not going to even work for us anyways unless we get a microcell. See how much the Motorola has compared to this one and this one? I mean, the Axon still has more than the Blue. Motorola is the best. It has a better radio frequency than any other. Now this one also has FDD-LTE and TDD-LTE. The blue does not have TDD-LTE. Blue doesn't have it, and the Axon doesn't have it. But guess what? Look at this. Motorola has TDD-LTE. It has these bands right here. So if my area doesn't support FDD-LTE, I'm not going to be receiving any LTE with these two. So I don't know. I'm going to have to find out about that. I'm going to have to call AT&T because I have AT&T. Here's the data over here. It says here LTE Cat 6 300/50. See, I'm not sure what all this means. This is LTE Cat 4 and this is HSPA. So I don't know. I'm not even sure what any of that means. I have to call AT&T to make sure which phone's best for me. Now micro SIM, the blue have micro SIM. I would have to get that card because my phone right now has a nano SIM. So I'm going to have to change it to a micro SIM if I buy this phone. Now the nano SIM is supported by the Motorola. I don't know what the Axon has. It doesn't say. Now multiple SIM cards. This one has 2 slots. I thought this one had 2 slots too, but it doesn't say it. And then positioning, it has GPS and all that good stuff. Turn by turn, voice navigation, connectivity, has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, mobile hotspot, they all have it. USB 2.0, mass storage, tethering, they all have tethering, NFC, just the Axon has the NFC, don't really care about that. And then these are all the other features, and that's it, guys. I mean, that's all I can show you from that. Do you see now that why I'm having such a hard time picking a phone? I'm not sure what to do. Guys, if you can help me out with this, please comment down below and tell me which phone you think is best for me. I told you what I need and what I'm looking in a phone, so I need to know. I want your input. Give me your input, guys. Please, I need help choosing a phone. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you have not subscribed already, please do so down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below. Give me some input on what phone to choose, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I'm down to 3 phones really that I really like, and I'm having a hard time figuring out which phone I want. So the first one is the Axon Pro. It's by ZTE.